Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Mind Body Medicine for Chronic Pain. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Sean. I am a psychotherapist, and I specialize in helping people heal from chronic pain using psychological and emotional modalities. Here we all are. Welcome. So, the last solo episode was season 4, episode 2, and that was called Is My Insert Symptom Here TMS. This episode today is the part 2 of that back to basics TMS discussion. We're picking up where we left off, and we are taking the next step today. So, that previous episode, if you didn't catch it, that was how do I know if I have TMS and if my symptoms are mind body symptoms and if this work will help me. This today is now what do I do? What is the treatment? What is mind body work? We have talked about this before and we are talking about it again. We're hitting it again today. And we're taking it a little deeper, actually, than the last time we talked about it. So, back to basics because your brain needs a reminder, plus going a little deeper. So, today we are going to let your brain have the reminder and get the information that it needs. And today we're going to get into some political stuff, talking about what is going on in Minneapolis right now, because how could I um, ignore that, right? Okay, so we have got a lot to talk about. Okay, quickly before we dive into that, I want to say that I am starting through Christina Sarno Horner's practice a TMS treatment and support group. So we're going to be meeting Tuesdays from 5 o'clock to 6:15 Eastern time, starting Tuesday, February 24th, 2026. Um, I'd love to see you there. If this sounds good to you, I would love to see you there. It's going to be 10 sessions, 75 minutes each. It's all going to be virtual, so you can access it from anywhere. The cost is, I think, a good deal. $65 a session. Um, I will facilitate the group. And it's going to be, a treatment group to support people healing from chronic pain and mind body conditions, get support, get advice, get community. This is going to be a very cool experience. Please contact me if you are interested and you would like to join. I would be happy to talk with you about joining. If you have any questions, please reach out. The info is in the show notes. So you can just click right there, contact me through my website, contact me through my email, which is at in the footer of my website. I would love to hear from you if you're interested in the group. Please, but we'd love to see you. We'd love for you to join. Um, Also, for the podcast, join the discussion. If you have questions that you'd like to hear addressed on the podcast, please send me a message. Again, in the show notes, you can just go right down there and click ask a question on the podcast. I would love to hear from you. If you think this podcast would help someone who you know, share it with them. If you enjoy the podcast, please rate the podcast or write a review on Apple Podcasts. Give it some stars. Some stars on either Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Wherever you listen, stars would be much appreciated. Love a star. Love 5 stars. I even would love 4 or 3 stars. Just, I'd love to hear from you. Engage with me. That's what I'm asking for. Just engage with me. Okay, so how to treat chronic pain. That is our topic for today. Back to basics. Your brain wants to hear this. How to treat chronic pain. TMS pain arises in 3 different domains. 1, psychological, 2, emotional, and 3, with the lack of attunement to and a lack of alignment with and a being unkind to your true self. 3 domains. So, just as there are 3 domains in which TMS pains and symptoms arise, there are 3 steps to treating chronic pain. 1, psychological, 2, emotional, and 3, patiently attuning to your true self and learning to be kind to and to be accepting of and to do right by your true self. We're going to go through all 3. All the parts are important. All 1, 2, and 3. Part 3 is the hardest to understand. And it's the part I see like most people are missing. And it's the part that I missed for a long time. And truly still, it's the part that I personally know I need to be doing the most work on for myself. Part 3 is the hardest. Stick around for that. But we're going to go in order because they build on each other, and we are going to do all 3 in order. Okay, let's start together with step 1. Step 1 of treating chronic pain, the psychological work. How do you treat yourself psychologically to reduce and eventually eliminate chronic pain and chronic symptoms? Okay, great question. Let's find an answer. So pain is a danger signal. Pain is a danger signal in the mind-body system. That is the function of pain, and that's the reason for pain. Pain is generated in the brain, and it is a danger signal. Notice I say pain is generated in the brain. It feels like the pain is generated from the part of your body that's hurting. Pain is generated in the brain, and pain is a danger signal. So the work is dampening that sense of danger and learning to feel more safe. Dampening the sense of danger, learning to feel more safe. That's the work. So the first thing to do when it comes to TMS work, what is it? You tell me. What is the first thing to do when it comes to TMS work? Anyone know? The first thing. The first step of healing chronic pain is understanding, internalizing, and believing the correct facts about pain. That is the start. Step 1. This is the beginning of the psychological work, learning about this, understanding, internalizing, and believing the correct facts about chronic pain and about chronic symptoms. Usually, like the first step is just hearing about this and being open to this. That's kind of like prologue. The first step is understanding and internalizing and believing the correct facts about pain. Okay, so what are the correct facts? Good question. What do you need to know? Well, you need to know pain does not always mean what you think it does. It does not always mean what you think it does. You thought pain meant there was something structurally wrong with your body at the site of the pain, or that you had some disease in your body at the site of the pain. Nope, not always. If you have chronic pain, it's deeper than that. Your chronic pain is more existential than that. It's your emotional life. It's your mind-body system's reaction to emotions. It's your mind-body system's fear of emotions. And it's your mind-body system's fear of your true self rising. Your pain is the universe's way of communicating to you that there's something inside of you that needs more. Something inside of you that needs your attention. There's something that exists inside of you that you're consciously out of alignment with. Okay? There's something in your unconscious or subconscious that needs you. It needs you. Your body's expressing fear, longing, needs, danger. Your body's feeling and expressing, and that is why you're feeling chronic pain and feeling chronic symptoms. So, first thing to understand, we're on understanding, internalizing, and believing pain is not what you thought it was. Symptoms are not what you thought they were. And, certainly there can be something structurally wrong with your body at the site of the pain, but that's only one danger signal that your pain might be sending to you. It's only one. There are others. There are others. Pain can also mean emotional and psychological, quote unquote, dangers, emotional and psychological, quote unquote, threats in the mind-body system, emotional and psychological factors existing in your mind-body system that must be addressed. Okay, that is the first thing to know. Second thing, you ready? It's time to calm down. It is time to calm down. It's time to send messages of safety to yourself in relation to your pain. I'm saying danger, a mind body pain is danger, quote unquote, and threat, quote unquote. These are in quotes because it's not actually dangerous. Your pain is not actually dangerous. Your symptoms are not actually dangerous. Your emotions are not actually dangerous. And being yourself is not actually dangerous. So, the psychological work, it's safe to feel your pain and your symptoms. It is safe to feel your pain and your symptoms. It sucks. Yes, I know. You hate it. Yes, I know. I hate chronic pain too. It sucks. I'm like, how do I have a whole podcast on a topic that I hate? I hate chronic pain. Of course. Don't you? It's the worst. And chronic pain is safe. It is safe. TMS can hurt you big time. It hurts a lot. And I mean, some of you listening, you're in severe pain. Yes, TMS can hurt you bad. It cannot harm you. It doesn't create lasting damage in your body. It's safe to feel these sensations in your body. It's safe to feel TMS pain in your body. And we need to move away. This is the psychological work. Once we understand and internalize and believe the facts, we need to move away from freaking out. We need to move away from jumping into diagnosing and fixing. And definitely you want to back off the structural fixes, meaning like doing something to your physical structural body in order to quote unquote cure yourself from the pain. No, 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 no. The procedures, the supplements, the surgeries, the herbs, the pills, shots, injections, extreme diets, cleanses, chiropractic adjustments, all that, physical therapy exercises, all that shit. That's not going to be the healing for you. If you have TMS, you have to back away from all of the fear and the urgency and the obsessive energy that goes into all of that stuff because that freaks your brain out. That makes the danger signal worse. Okay, you have to calm down. You have to calm down. And here, this is core to the psychological work. Learn to think psychologically, not physically. That is a classic Dr. John Sarno piece of wisdom. Think psychologically, not physically. That is my core recommendation to you in step one, the realm of doing the psychological work. Think psychologically, not physically. Everything else you need to do to heal flows from that. It flows from thinking psychologically, not physically. So, just so we're on the same page for sure. What does that mean? Thinking psychologically, not physically, means when you have a symptom, rather than think, oh no, something's clearly wrong with my body, oh no, rather than that, instead, think, what am I feeling emotionally? Or what am I not feeling emotionally? That line of thinking will lead you into step two, the emotional work, and step three, patiently tuning to your true self. But okay, we'll hit those in a bit. First, let's fully flesh out step one, the psychological work, what to do in order to do step one. Here are some ideas for thinking psychologically, not physically. All right. Somatic tracking. I fully recommend Alan Gordon's book, The Way Out. That will give you a full, thorough description and understanding of somatic tracking. But briefly, so you understand the basics, somatic tracking is paying attention to your physical symptoms through a lens of safety, giving yourself the experience of feeling into the symptoms while keeping in mind this is safe. I can be calm. This is coming from my brain. This is a danger signal and it is a false alarm. This is a neural pathway that isn't shutting off yet, but it's going to shut off. The more I stay calm, the more I stay calm, the more I stay calm. Because when you stay calm, it will quiet down and the danger signal will shut off. So the pain and symptoms will quiet down and they will shut off. With somatic tracking, it's like, it's basically like meditation. Paying attention, just tuning in and paying attention to your symptoms, but through a lens of safety, not through the lens of like, oh, this is how it feels to have a disc slipped in my back, or to have problems with my SI joint, or to have SIBO in my gut, or to whatever it may be. That is through a lens of danger. That is thinking physically, not psychologically. We are tuning in through a sense of safety and thinking psychologically, not physically. The goal of somatic tracking, the goal is not to reduce or eliminate your pain in like a 5 or 10-minute somatic tracking exercise. You can't control your pain like that. Wouldn't that be cool? But you can't. It's not how the human brain and body works. So let go of that, because you do not have that kind of control. The goal of somatic tracking is just to notice your pain and your symptoms through a lens of safety. In the long term, the goal is that the symptoms will chill out and go away and they'll no longer be chronic. Yeah, that's the long-term goal of somatic tracking for sure. And that's totally possible. But it's not the short-term goal. You don't have control over your symptoms in the short term like that, but you do have control over your symptoms and your pain in the long term. More about somatic tracking in the book The Way Out by Alan Gordon. Like I said, I also have a podcast episode on somatic tracking. If you're interested, you can scroll back to that. And I have an episode of this podcast that is a guided somatic tracking exercise, which give that a try. Certainly give that a try. Okay, somatic tracking, more things to do as you're working on the psychological work, which is step 1 of healing chronic pain. Something to do is question your triggers. You are way safer in this world than you think that you are. And yeah, are there dangers in the world? Yes. Every life ends in death. And are there dangers in this world that can make that happen a lot sooner rather than later? Absolutely. Your nervous system is not ridiculous. Your nervous system is not stupid for being on high alert. Like, your nervous system knows that this world is bugged up and horrifying. Your nervous system knows that you can die. So your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. Yeah. It's trying too hard, though. That's the thing. If you have chronic pain and chronic symptoms, your nervous system is trying too hard. While this world is dangerous, you are way safer in this world than you think that you are. Things are less dangerous than you think that things are. Okay. So we're going to just look at some examples of triggers. Question your triggers. Is your IBS caused by like a regular, moderate amount of gluten in your diet? No. Is your IBS caused by a regular, moderate amount of dairy in your diet? No. Is your IBS caused by a regular, moderate amount of nightshades or sulfites or whatever in your diet? No, no, and no. Is your neck pain caused by your slight, mild slouch? No. Is your neck pain caused by your like pretty serious slouch? Even that, probably no. Is your back pain caused by your like cozy, comfortable, padded chair? No. Is your knee pain caused by that time you walked really far 5 years ago and your knee has hurt ever since? No. No. That's way too long for like the body heals, injuries heal. No. Not the cause of your chronic pain. Is your hip pain caused because of a weightlifting injury from 3 years ago? Again, no. Is your shoulder pain caused by a lack of stretching? No. Is your shoulder pain caused by too much stretching? No. Are your migraines caused by changes in the weather? No. Question your triggers. Question your triggers. And then, now you know. Now you know they're not the cause of your pain. The issue, like the cause of the pain, is the fear of these triggers. It's your deep-seated belief that these things are dangerous causes that belief and that fear, that's a threat to the mind-body system. That causes pain and symptoms. The responses have become conditioned because pain and symptoms are danger signals. So, if you believe you're engaging in dangerous activities, then your brain will believe you're engaging in dangerous activities and will generate a danger signal in your mind body system. So, we are working on rewriting those beliefs about your triggers and pain. And then you can reintroduce the stuff that you'd love to reintroduce. That brings us to the next piece, graded exposure. This is so fun and so life affirming. And honestly, I think it's one of the best parts of chronic pain recovery. You can do the things you thought you had to give up. Wow. Doesn't that just like make your life so much better right there? You can do the things you thought you had to give up. So reintroduce stuff. Graded exposure. My advice is go slow. Graded, we don't like you start in first grade and then move to second grade and then third grade. We're not like starting on the day of your PhD graduation, go slow. Let your brain slowly reacclimate to new things. If they cause pain or symptoms, okay, totally normal, totally expected. You're working to decrease the fear and the sense of threat and the sense of danger. And as you do that, yeah, pain and symptoms will fire, but they will subside and they will no longer be associated with a false trigger. Okay, so psychological work. Think psychologically, not physically, somatic tracking, question your triggers, graded exposure, and your life gets to be bigger. You get to go back to the activities you'd love to do. One more thing I'm going to slip in real quick as part of the psychological work, body-based TMS treatments. This is teaching your brain that you're safe in your body through your body. So, so you know exactly what I'm talking about, many of the physical treatments, you can do them if they're done with the energy of calm and relaxation and safety and security and psychological healing, rather than being done with like fear and freaking out and trying to structurally fix your body. Stretching, great. Progressive muscle relaxation, great. Somatic work to relax the body and release tension in the body and feel safer in the body, great. Rather than somatic work to try and fix the body. Yes, acupuncture to de stress the body or to process emotions lingering in the body, great. Okay, let me give a brief example on this one. I used to have a massage gun. Some people don't know what that is, but I'm talking to you and TMS. So there's a good chance you know what a massage gun is. This is way before I learned about TMS. I had all these like trigger point balls that I had the massage gun. Um, and that massage gun was no joke. Like that shit was rough. And I would pound my hip with that. Like, damn, I would pound my hip with that. Um, I was so desperate back then. Like I was so desperate. And I would really like hurt myself with that thing. Did that help me? No, it did not. It didn't make the pain better. It did not. Then when I learned about TMS, I got rid of the massage gun, got rid of the trigger point balls, all that. Didn't even, did not engage with any of that. And then after about a year or so, I never went back to the massage gun because that shit's crazy. But after a year or so of giving up on all that stuff, I bought a new trigger point ball to massage my hip and like other parts of my body, like my foot. And now I love that thing. Like I love to like lay on that thing and massage my hip with the trigger point ball. And I think to myself, let go, let go. Like let go of trauma, let go of tension, let go of holding, let go of tightness, let go of fear, like let go, let go. You see how that is thinking psychologically rather than physically, but treating the body. Like the same way that I'm letting go of fear of my emotions and letting go of fear of my pain, I'm letting that like come into my body, letting go. I like that, and my body likes that too. I think it helps to it help I really think it helps me to release the embodied trauma, the trauma that my body is, keeping the score of, in the words of "The Body Keeps the Score." So how does that translate in your life? You know, anything that helps you feel safe in your body and helps you feel safe feeling sensations in your body, that is good. That is good. Okay, one more thing I'll slip in as part of the psychological work, mantras. Mantras are great. Like, remind yourself throughout the day, "My pain is not dangerous. TMS can hurt me, but it cannot harm me. My body is safe. Think psychologically, not physically." Great mantra. Okay. Okay, okay, okay. The psychological work. Teaching your brain and your nervous system that it is safe to feel sensations, including pain, in the body. That is step 1. All right, on to step 2, the emotional work. Emotions cause chronic pain and chronic symptoms because people with TMS are the types of people who learned somewhere along the way that feeling or having or expressing emotions was not okay. This is a normal cultural belief in many different cultures. And people who believe this, hello, that's me included, people who believe this, like we believe it for a good reason. There's so much cultural conditioning in this world in many different cultures that teach us different versions of emotions are bad. However, we cannot continue to live like that. Doing the emotional work to heal your chronic pain, your relationship with your emotions has got to change. So, with the emotional work, step 2, we are teaching your brain and your nervous system that it is safe to feel emotions, all of your emotions. So, why do emotions cause chronic pain? As discussed, pain is a danger signal. Your conscious self, or like especially, we could also call it your false self if you're really repressing a lot. Your conscious self or your false self considers emotions to be dangerous and threatening. Therefore, emotions cause a danger signal, like pain or symptoms, in the mind body system as they rise. Or they cause a danger signal as you keep them down and keep them away from rising. This theory is basically the same, but slightly different idea. The classic TMS theory posits that pain and symptoms are a psychological defense against emotions. Just like, defenses like projection or denial or rationalization or intellectualization. Classic TMS theory posits that the mind body system, like, actively gives you pain and gives you symptoms to distract you, thus defending you against your emotions. So these two ideas, one, like the danger signal, and two, the defense mechanism, they're basically the same. It's just that like the defense mechanism theory, like maybe the mind body system is a little more active, and the danger signal theory, it's like a little more like just basic cause and effect, like it's just happening. Um, Another theory that has also been posited is that like if you don't feel your emotions as emotions, that emotional energy isn't going anywhere. It is there and it stays there. So if you don't allow yourself to feel it, it has to express itself somewhere. So emotions will be transmuted into pain or symptoms. Energy is neither created nor destroyed, it is only transferred. And so you feel your emotions as pain or symptoms instead of feeling your emotions as emotions. Which of these theories is true? Right? Which is it? There's no way to know is what, I was in a training with Dr. Howard Schubiner, leader in this field. Someone asked him exactly this question, and you know how they say, like, "Oh, ask your questions because, like, you don't know, other people must have the same question." When someone asked this question, I was like, "Oh, dude, I wouldn't have even thought to have asked that. I'm just sort of stewing in confusion over here." But yeah, which is it? That's a great question, and I have the question too. And what did Dr. Howard Schubiner say? What he said is, "There's no way to know, but also it doesn't matter because no matter what, the solution is the same. Learn to feel your emotions and treat your emotions as safe, and then there will be no need for emotions to cause a danger signal in the body. There will be no need to defend against emotions and keep yourself distracted from them. And the emotions will be felt as emotions rather than as pain and symptoms. Thus, allowing the pain to be like not destroyed, but transferred back into emotional energy, felt, and then flow out of your system. We don't know everything, folks. I know, right? Sucks. I know. We don't know everything. Chronic pain is existential. Like, life is existential. I don't even know, like, the words to, like, describe that, but, like, you know what I mean? Human consciousness is limited. Your consciousness is limited. My consciousness is limited. There are existential factors going on all the time that we don't fully understand. I know pain is a danger signal, yes. I know, your chronic pain is emotional and psychological. Your chronic symptoms, those are emotional and psychological. But do I know everything? No, I do not. And I shouldn't pretend to. Trying to desperately understand everything in your limited human brain, that's gonna stress you out. So my recommendation is don't obsess over every little logical detail. Make some space in your healing journey for letting go and surrendering and assuming the role of not knowing. Make some space in your healing journey for like existential mystery. I don't know. Maybe you're thinking like, is the mechanism by which the brain generates pain, is it oxygen deprivation? That's in all Dr. Sarno's books, oxygen deprivation. And now like no one's talking about oxygen deprivation. What about oxygen deprivation? Right? Yeah, maybe you're thinking that. Maybe you're thinking like if pain is a danger signal and the danger is my emotions, why is it manifesting between L4 and L5? Huh? Somebody tell me why. Or why is it manifesting in the SI joint? Or is it the ACL? Or whatever. Whatever. We don't know everything. We don't. What we know is enough to understand. And it's enough for you to heal from your pain. It's enough. It's enough. We may not know exactly why every little thing is happening. You may not know exactly why every little thing is happening. Let go. Let go. Release. Accept mystery. Accept it. Accept that the universe is complex. Accept it. Accept it. Your pain may be coming from like a sort of psychic plane or a sort of existential plane. Okay, that's cool. You can handle that. People can heal from chronic pain using these tools, so you can too. We understand enough. That's what I mean. We understand enough. So let go, surrender. And letting go and surrendering will help you loosen up. And that's the energy that allows you to heal chronic pain. Okay, how do you teach your brain and your nervous system that emotions are safe? My first recommendation for this would be so, like I recommended Alan Gordon's book, The Way Out, for step one, I would recommend Nicole Sachs's book, Mind Your Body, for step two, the emotional work. Nicole Sachs teaches about journal speak, and this is a great way to teach your brain and your nervous system that emotions are safe. So, briefly, journal speak is a process of writing exactly what you feel. This is not for anyone to see or to read, it's only for you. You express the whole truth, then you dig even deeper and you express even more. And then you dig even deeper and you express even more. You get out everything you feel. Rage on the page is what people call it. And it's a wonderful tool to teach the brain and the nervous system that it's safe to feel your emotions. And through journaling, you'll learn a lot about yourself, like stuff you never knew before. You'll learn a lot about yourself and you'll drastically expand your consciousness as it relates to yourself and drastically expand your consciousness as it relates to self-awareness. Okay, to journal speak. Start by writing 3 lists with 3 headers. List number 1 is past stressors slash past trauma. List number 2, daily life stressors. That also includes every member of your family, everyone you interact with on a daily basis. Their names should be on that list. Daily life stressors. 3, list number 3, personality traits that make it hard to be me, such as perfectionism, goodism, that's wanting to be seen as good all the time, personality traits, excuse me, like rigidity, like having a type A personality, that sort of thing. Then, you have the 3 lists, fill them out. Everything that comes to you, put them on the list. As you go, throughout the process of over weeks and months, like you'll add more to the list. Great, great. And then when you have the 3 lists, a journal speak session is 30 minutes. First, you either pick an item off one of the lists or you just go in with like something that's bothering you or some topic that you're feeling emotions about, something that's like top of mind. Set a timer for 20 minutes and just write. You can handwrite, you can write on a computer, just write. Express, 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 free associate, and just go. Feel it all, knowing that feeling your feelings may suck, it may feel really weird, but it is safe. Anything that arises is safe. So let go and get it all out. 20 minutes. When the timer goes off, breathe, and then set another timer for 10 minutes. And then calm your body and calm your mind through 10 minutes of any kind of meditation. Silent meditation, guided meditation, a recorded loving kindness meditation. The goal is to feel a sense of calm after you express your emotions. And then you just repeat, 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 repeat. Make this a habit. Make this make this a practice. And that is journal speak. And it does wonders for chronic pain. If you want to deep dive, read Nicole Sachs's book, Mind Your Body. What else? What else will help you feel safe feeling your emotions? Therapy. This is where therapy, like especially with a mind, body, and TMS informed therapist, can be very helpful. Therapy with most therapists is going to be really helpful for feeling your emotions. Therapy is an opportunity to really allow those feelings to rise. Therapy is an opportunity, this is so important, to share your emotional life with someone who can support you, someone who is trained to help you, someone who cares and who's trained to help you feel safe and comfortable with your emotions and with the way they manifest in your body. Therapy is a really profound opportunity if you choose to use it for healing. And also, hello, as you know, I am a therapist. So if you're interested and if you vibe with my vibe, um, reach out to me. SeanHershey.com or mindbodymedicineforchronicpain.com. Send me a message through my website. And if you want to use that opportunity to have help with your emotions. All right. What else? What else? What else? Learning to feel your emotions and like leaning in to just feeling them, leaning into feeling them rather than leaning out by trying to fix and problem solve your emotions. That's so important. Learning to lean into emotions. This you can practice every day. When you feel an emotion, lean into it rather than your automatic reaction, which is probably some version of trying to fix it or distract yourself from it or try to solve the problem underneath it or tell yourself positive things that just make the emotion kind of weaken a little. But like, put all that aside. Just feel it. Just lean in. That leaning into your emotions rather than leaning out, that can be practiced every day. You will have opportunities to practice that every day. When you begin to feel an emotion, rather than thinking, oh no, and tensing up and leaning out of the emotion, Practice redirecting. Practice redirecting that oh no to okay. Okay. Loosen up. Allow it. When a shitty emotion rises, well, fuck. Here it is. This is the work I'm doing. This is healing from chronic pain. Let me lean in and just say, okay. Okay. You have opportunities to feel emotions or to repress emotions and avoid your emotions and fear your emotions every day. So take the opportunity to feel. Take the opportunity to feel and just let it move through your body. That is teaching the brain and the nervous system that emotions are safe. So, okay, journaling, therapy, leaning in rather than thinking, oh no, when emotions arise, thinking, okay. Um, Share your emotions with trusted people. Major caveat to that, like many people don't handle emotions well. So just like, you know, you probably can't share everything with the people in your life, and, that is what it is. So just, go into sharing emotions with, like, care and knowing that others like, others may not really have the bandwidth to, like, handle it or take it, but if they can and certainly you don't have to share everything, but when you share the things you decide to share, when people do hear you and get you and they can take it, that feels really good. So let yourself share emotions that you want to share with trusted people. All right, the emotional work. Teaching your brain and your nervous system that emotions are safe. Expressing your emotions and feeling your emotions so they're not stuck in your body. Expressing your emotions and feeling your emotions so you don't need to be defended against them. Make a habit of feeling your emotions. This may feel hard, but it will definitely help you heal your chronic pain and your chronic symptoms. And as you do this emotional exploration, you will discover so much more about yourself. You will absolutely discover so much more about yourself. I certainly have as I've done this. Like, wow, I certainly have learned a lot more about myself. Okay, that is step 2, the emotional work. All right, 3 steps to healing chronic pain. Step 1 was the psychological work. That's teaching your brain and your nervous system that sensations in your body, including pain, are safe. Step 2, that was the emotional work, teaching your brain and your nervous system that emotions are safe. Step 3. Okay, step 3. Patiently attuning to your true self. This is teaching your brain and your nervous system that it's safe to be you, learning to align with your true self, learning to be kind to your inner true self, and learning to be kind to your body. This is step 3. Why does misattunement with and unkindness towards your true authentic self cause pain and symptoms? Okay. This question can be answered on 2 levels. The first reason is being misattuned with yourself and being unkind towards your true self causes symptoms and pain because the conscious self fears the needs and the desires and like everything about the bad self. That's the first level. And since pain is a danger signal, if you're afraid of your true inner animal self, and if you see your true inner animal self as bad and as the bad self, well, that true inner animal self is going to be with you everywhere you go. So, chronically with yourself, chronically fear yourself, chronic danger signal, chronic pain, chronic symptoms. Am I right? Makes sense, right? Okay, so that's like one level. The second level that we can answer the question, why does misattunement with and unkindness towards my true self, why does that cause pain, and chronic symptoms? The second way to answer that question is because if you don't honor your true self, your needs, your boundaries, your limits, um, then you're putting your true self in like overwhelm regularly. That is dangerous when you're doing too much and stepping out of your natural boundaries, like boundaries that you don't choose, like they just exist. If you're stepping out of your natural boundaries all the time because you're ignoring them, then yeah, that's threatening to your true self. That's putting your true self in danger and overwhelm all the time. And Yes, that will cause a danger signal too. And like we were talking about before, also remember, we as humans exist in a complex system of dimensions and planes that our brains can't fully understand. Your pain is often a message from your true inner self, and your pain is your body telling you something. It may not make 100% sense to you or to me, but your pain is a message. And it's a message from, like, maybe this dimension and this plane that we can, like, see and fully understand. Maybe it's a message that's, like, kind of from a dimension and a plane that we don't fully see and we don't fully understand, but we feel it in our bodies. I don't know everything, nor do you, nor does anyone. But here's what I know. Tune in, listen, learn to listen to your body, learn to listen to your pain, because it can teach you so much about who you really are. Step 3, patiently attuning to your true self. This is the third step in healing chronic pain. This is the hardest step to teach. It's the hardest step to understand. This is probably the hardest part for your brain. Yes, I'm talking to you. This is probably the hardest part for your brain to understand. It's definitely been the hardest part for me to understand. And like I said before, I truly believe this is the part I still need the most work on in my own life. This is the part that I see most people missing. Patiently attuning to your true self, learning to be kind and accepting of who you truly are and of your true self. When I have initial therapy calls for, like, clients who don't end up signing up for therapy, this is often, like, most often, this is glaringly the part that I can hear the client is missing. I can hear that in, like, what they're saying and how they're describing their life, but, in a brief phone call, it's very hard to educate someone about their true selves and to gently help them understand that they're gonna need to do some work on their relationship with their true self, when most of our time and our energy on these calls is diverted into, like, but I've been through so much with this and nothing helps me and nothing will fix me, and prove to me that you can fix my pain. Prove it. Prove it. Because then, I have to be like, well, I don't offer a fix, but I offer something better. I offer an opportunity. Like, it's an opportunity for you to learn and heal yourself. And I'm not stupid. Like, for a really scared, medically traumatized person who doesn't know and trust their inner self, that is not a good sell. I get that because I've been there. Like, I've been that scared, medically traumatized, like, don't even know who I really am person. So I get it. I get it. Not everyone is ready for this work right now. I fully get it. But I am talking to you. You are listening to this. You have gotten this far into this podcast episode, and this is not a short one. You are probably ready for this, and you're probably ready for this now. You can understand. You can make space for your true self in your own heart, right? Like, you can take the time to do that, right? And so we're going to take some time to talk about it right now, and I will orient you to this process so that you can get it. Okay. How do you patiently attune to your true self and learn to be kind to your true self and teach your brain and your nervous system that it's safe to be your true self? All right. Patiently attuning to your true self is not just about, like, slowing down or letting yourself take breaks. And it's definitely not about, like, trying to force yourself not to be critical of yourself, or not to be critical of your work, or not to be critical of your body or your life or the way things turned out for you. Trying to force yourself not to be critical. No. Trying and forcing. No and no. What I'm teaching is the opposite of trying and forcing. Patiently attuning to your true self is not about trying. It's not about forcing yourself to do anything. This is not the work of I'm going to help you stop hating yourself. This is the work of I'm going to help you accept the parts of you that hate yourself. And through that, you'll ease up on hating yourself. Let me say that one more time because that is like so core. This is not the work of I'm going to help you stop hating yourself. This is the work of I'm going to help you accept the parts of you that hate yourself. And through that, you'll ease up on hating yourself. This is the work of like, I'm going to attune to and work to understand the parts of myself that hate me or that hate my work or that hate my body or that hate my life or hate the way things turned out for me. Why do those parts of me feel that way? This is the work of getting to know all of the parts of you. You are a real person. Everything you think, you feel, you are, it matters and it is real and it is good. All those parts are good. Richard Schwartz, he has a book on internal family systems therapy. The book is called No Bad Parts. One of Dr. Sarno's books, The Divided Mind. We all have many parts to ourselves. Our minds are divided. This we know. There are internal conflicts. Yes, there sure are. You know that, and I know that. And there are no bad parts. Internalizing that mantra, like internalizing the mantra, no bad parts, that will help you attune to your true self. Letting all the parts inside of you be, letting the parts inside of you speak, no bad parts. All your parts are there for a reason. Each part of yourself, even the critical parts that you wish you could therapize away, or you wish you could call me and that I could therapize away, those parts say something about you. They say something about what you want. They say something about who you are. They say something about what matters to you. There are no bad parts. Okay, so let's do an example because, like, I know it seems very hard to believe that every part of you is good. Um, it seems like there are bad parts to you, right? And it certainly seems like there are bad parts to others, right? So let's do we'll do an example to illustrate no bad parts. Okay, Donald Trump, right? Seems like there are some bad parts there. Okay? There seems to be a part of him that wants power, control, domination, strike terror into the hearts of immigrants, trans people, white ladies in Minneapolis who dare to fight back against ICE. A part of him wants people like that dead. He wants fierce allegiance from his allies, and he actually seems to want total fear from his allies and total fear from his foes both. Those are bad parts, right? I mean, like, right? But I would boldly go so far as to argue, no, those are not bad parts. Those are bad strategies. That is different. What if parts of Donald Trump want to feel important? Want to feel heard, want to feel validated, want to feel like they matter, want to feel like they're big, they're cool, want to feel respected by others. Maybe parts of him that like want to be a little fucking badass. Yeah. It's okay to want to be heard, validated, feel important. It's even okay to want to be a fucking badass. There are no bad parts. However, there are bad strategies. In Donald Trump, we see a lot of those. If the strategy that parts inside of you or inside of anyone, if the strategy these parts have taken on for getting their needs met is, you know, terrorizing the globe, killing your own citizens and blaming them for their own deaths. Renee Good was exactly my age. And so was Alex Preddy. Both of them were exactly 37. In reading up on both of their deaths, the articles that I read, they were like telling their stories to humanize them. And you could feel the intention of the journalists in writing these like humanizing stories was to prove that they were humans rather than that they were domestic terrorists, which just to say, like, if you're listening to this podcast and you think Renee Good and Alex Preddy were domestic terrorists, you are wrong. I can't even believe we're like legitimately having this conversation, but like it is a basic social work principle to meet people where they're at. So if this is the conversation we're having, let's have it. Renee Good and Alex Preddy were not domestic terrorists. They were protesting brutal anti-immigrant federal law enforcement. They were fucking heroes. These articles I was reading about Renee Good and Alex Preddy, both of them graduated from high school in 2006. They were in my graduating class, both of them. Isn't that crazy? And Renee Good was queer. Federal law enforcement murdered Renee Good and Alex Preddy just a few miles from the street where I grew up. If you saw those videos, like the houses in the background, the snow, like that backdrop, that was exactly how I grew up. Like exactly how I grew up. That's the same neighborhood where George Floyd was murdered. Powderhorn Park. We used to go to Powderhorn Park every 4th of July for the fireworks. There's, great fireworks display over the lake. In the neighborhood of Powderhorn Park, there's a park, which is called Powderhorn Park. It's pretty big and totally beautiful, especially in the summer. Unbelievable. But, I say unbelievable, but of course, this is a nation built on genocide and violence and ethnic cleansing and patriarchal terror, male domination through violence and through the threat of violence. So as much as I say unbelievable, it's really not unbelievable. It's just really sad. Having the power to engage in strategies that involve literal murder and campaigns of absolute terror, that is deeply not okay. Like, deeply not okay. And let me just say, there are so many victims. So many victims. I, of course, am relating to these people, to Alex Preddy and to Renee Good, like white male nurse, white queer woman in Minneapolis, because I'm like, oh my God, that could be me. But, you know this, there are so many unnamed victims. People in detention centers, people who have been deported, people who are too scared to leave the house. Unnamed victims who are not white, unnamed victims who I've been trained not to see myself in. Many of them are immigrants to this country, and I don't know their names, but I want to hold them in my heart right now too, because they matter too. Jesus Christ, this is fucking intense to talk about. Okay, I knew we were going to talk about this because like I literally have it written down as a bullet point, but like, wow. Okay, this feels like a tangent, but it is not. This is deliberate. There are no bad parts. And if you can even consider this truth in Donald Trump as he directs ICE in this campaign of terror, you can certainly consider this truth in yourself. There are no bad parts. Maybe you have some bad strategies too. I do. But no bad parts. No bad parts. You are a real person. You are a real person. That's my favorite quote from Dr. Lindsay Gibson. She's the author of Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents. Excellent book. Excellent. I watched her on some YouTube interview once, and the interviewer asked her, "What would you want to say to an adult child of an emotionally immature parent?" And when the interviewer asked that, I was thinking like, "Oh, good question. Like, how is she gonna like sum that up?" And Dr. Lindsay Gibson just very calmly and very confidently said, "I would want them to know you are a real person." And I was just like, "Oh my god, I was not expecting her to say that." And I'm, like, near tears watching this video, which, maybe that says something about me and about my upbringing. Um, but I'm bringing this up here because that is what it means to tune into your true self. You are a real person. There is something inside of you, and that is who you are. Your body is who you are. Your genuine feelings and your genuine reactions to things, like that is who you are. You genuinely like some things and you genuinely dislike others. You are drawn to certain things. That is you. That is natural. That is beyond your control, and you have no choice but to be you. And you are a real person. If you landed in this place where you have chronic pain, you don't have the same story that I have, of course. You have your story, which has at least one similar theme, which is that you were somehow conditioned to turn away from tuning into yourself and tuning into your emotions. And instead, you were encouraged to take your cues about how life is supposed to be and how you're supposed to be and how you're supposed to feel from others. You're probably getting those cues about who you should be from outside rather than inside. But let me be the one to tell you who you are comes from inside. You are in there right now. I'm talking to you. You are in there. So tune in, listen, feel. What do you really feel? What do you really want? What parts of yourself hate other parts? Why so much internal conflict? What does all this mean about you and who you really are? Tune in. You are a real person. Man, here I am with you, feeling the intensity of Renee Good's murder and Alex Preddy's murder, and Donald Trump and the scapegoating of all of America's problems onto immigrants, and feeling the intensity of adult children of emotionally immature parents and being cut off from yourself, and about the journey back home to find yourself. Feeling the emotional intensity of that. You see how this doesn't quite vibe on a brief consultation call that's really supposed to be about, like, are you available on Tuesdays at noon? Or like, should we look at Thursdays? You are a real person. So tune in. Tune in. The how of step 3, tuning into your true self, for me, therapy. Having my own therapist has been the best tool I've had in order to tune into my true self. From there, listening to my body, that is so important. Taking my feelings seriously, that is so important. Going beyond just like feeling them, which is obviously very important, but knowing how much they matter, that is important. This step, however, step 3, it's more of a mindset, not a to-do list. One way I like to think about step 3, like a mantra I like to hold in my heart: don't shape yourself. Allow yourself to be yourself. Stop all the efforts to shape yourself into someone you're not. Like, allow yourself to be who you are. And that includes like allow yourself to have like the desires and like do the things and take the actions that that you want to take, even if other parts of you think those actions are bad or unhealthy. If it's not hurting anyone, give it a try. Allow yourself to rest when you need to and want to, and allow yourself to take the actions you want to take when you need to take them and when you want to take them. Don't shape yourself. Allow yourself. And I'd encourage you to think about what you'd like to do in order to patiently, and I say patiently because, yeah, it takes time and energy and patience, but to patiently tune into yourself. Think about what would help you. What would help you do that? Now that you have an understanding of like what it is that I'm talking about, what do you need? You have an answer there. What do you need? My advice is like it's an ongoing mindset. It's not a to-do list. And this is the gift of this work. It's the gift of journaling. It's the gift of getting to know and to feel your emotions, getting to know and allow yourself to be you, getting to be who you really are, and setting your internal self that's inside of you free. Setting yourself free. That is some existential shit. Right? That is some existential shit. Okay, final piece for today. This brings us to the end. We have done steps 1, step 2, and step 3. We've done them all. So the very final piece, which I'm like, this is too long. I'm not going to talk too much about this. Develop a daily practice. I want you to think about ideas for integrating the 3 parts of this work into your daily life. I can't prescribe that to you because I don't know exactly what you need. You know, I truly don't. You need the psychological work. That's step 1. You need the emotional work. That's step 2. And you need to patiently attune to your true self. That's step 3. What exactly you need to do as part of your daily practice? Some days, maybe you need to journal. Other days, maybe you want to do some somatic tracking. Some days, maybe you want to, I don't know. Tuning into your true self and being true to yourself, that's going to look very different for me and for you and for someone else. That's going to be very different for each person. So I can't prescribe your daily practice. What I want to say to you is you have to find ways to integrate this stuff into your life, because knowing it, awesome, so important. Doing it, that's the healing. Bringing this into your daily life, develop a daily practice. Okay, wow, that was a long one, but I'm going to say a good one. If you made it to the end, congrats. You're taking your healing deeper. You are learning how to bring this work into your life. You're taking your healing deeper. Okay, you are getting this, and you are in the process of healing. All right, this has been awesome, and I will see you next week. If you're looking for a therapist, you found one. And you can decide, does my vibe resonate with you? Therapy is an opportunity. Therapy is an opportunity to tune into you, to learn to feel more comfortable being yourself, to feel more comfortable with your emotions, and to feel more comfortable existing in the world, in your body. So whatever you're struggling with, chronic pain or otherwise, the opportunity that therapy provides is an opportunity for profound healing. Do you have difficulties in your life? Do you want a therapist to help you? And would you like me to get to know you and to help you? If so, that is actually an option. You can find me at SeanHershey.com or mindbodymedicineforchronicpain.com. Both go to the same place. And if you're looking for me, I would welcome a message from you. SeanHershey.com, mindbodymedicineforchronicpain.com, and you can request a free consultation.